All right, welcome everybody. This is Wednesday, the week of Build Your Business with Fund Saver Network. As you guys know, there's a little slightly different schedule. So I want to do just a little bit of housekeeping on the front end of this. I think the most important thing building any business like this, right? Maybe not if you spent 50 grand to open a shoe store, you're going to be at your shoe store every day. You're going to be talking to the vendors. You're going to be, really taking control of that business because you spent a lot of money. One of the biggest things that's so cool about a home-based business is it's so inexpensive to get started. That's also could be one of the biggest downfalls as well because people don't treat it like as if they put 100 grand up to build a business. So one of the most important things that you can do for yourself, no matter if you plug in part-time, spare time, whatever, is staying in touch, communication. Make sure you are in that Skool community. So important. If you noticed, I haven't actually been posting a ton. I have a team Facebook page. And as Ron and I were talking about it early on, and he started talking about he's putting the Skool thing together, I was like, oh, praise the Lord, music to my ears, because there's so many things to do to go in there and post. And if we all had team leader, our own team pages, and all you're doing is duplicating the information, it's like wasted time. So that Skool group's important. Now I got to tell you, Ron, give me the whip. Whoosh! Even me, I'll ask him, hey, what's up with the meet the CEO call? Right? I was wondering, man. I don't know if any of you missed or were trying to get on for Monday. Meet the CEO Monday. I thought it was every Monday. Well, it's not every Monday, but here's the best part. It's in the calendar in Skool. So if you're ever wondering, hey, when is the Zoom again? You don't have to reach out to your sponsor. You don't have to reach out to Ron. You don't have to reach upline to somebody else. All you got to do is go into Skool and click on the calendar. I mean, all these things, guys, listen, whenever we build, Ron's done such a fantastic job with making sure everybody knows what's going on. And Shelly, from the top down, from Shane, like with having these text messages and these emails, and when you sign somebody up and get an email, or you sign up, you get an email. I mean, it's really, really good. A lot of companies miss that portion of it, and that's the most important thing is staying connected in the communication. So that Skool group is where you want to do it. I don't have that link, Ron. Maybe you could grab that link as we keep going through there, and maybe just throw it in the chat in case people
I'll
aren't
get
in
it for
there
you.
yet.
I'll get it for you.
Um, but it is an important factor of it. Okay, that way you'll always know. One of the trainings that I always do on leadership, it talks about like forget you even have an upline, right? Is like you have to be the person to share with your people. And I think what a lot of leaders do, especially like new leaders, maybe somebody broke through, they're having success, whatever, their group's growing for the first time ever. They tend to continue when a question gets asked, they just say, oh, call Bob, call Ron, call whatever. And so the best thing you can do is be equipped so you know where everything is and you can point people into the direction. One thing I've it's very hard for me because I always want to just give people the answers. But believe it or not, you think you're being helpful giving the answers, but really you're putting a chain on somebody because now they're going to always rely on you and you might not always be available. And so the best thing to do is to when you're trying to create leaders of leaders is point them in the direction of where the tool is where they can get the information they need. So anyway, the housekeeping one, get yourself in that Skool community. Okay. It's in the chat right now.
Which is kind of like what I did for Bob when he said, "Hey, what about the meet the CEO?"
That's what you did. You sent
All
me the
I did was I
calendar.
went to school and I took a picture on my phone of the calendar and sent it to him. That's all I did.
Yeah. 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 And Ron's always been very, very good at that. He saves a lot of time. by not telling people the exact answer, giving them the information and the tool to go look it up themselves. And that helps to create a habit of independence. And that's what this is, right? Whenever you're with a company and you sign or you check that box that you're joining or whatever, you're an independent distributor or an independent associate or member, whatever. It doesn't say dependent, right? So that's the beautiful thing, is that this is all just, self-employment. Your success is based on what you do. Yes, I don't want this to sound like nobody's here to help. Of course we're here to help, but the better you get at knowing when everything is and where everything is, the easier it's going to be for you to show your teams and stuff. Look, this is just getting going. So it's kind of easy to manage right now, but wait till you have, 1,000 people in your matrix, and imagine if 30 people below you were like, oh, I don't know, call D. D's got all the answers. Call her. But before you know it, everyone in the world's calling D. It's like that's actually not even doing a good service for the team and for the members and teaching them and developing them. A lot of development is subliminal. A lot of times people will do what you do. So if you send them a tool to watch and it helps them with their answer, one person in their downline asks them a question, they're going to do the same thing. And that's all. That's what we're saying. And guess what? Some people just won't get it. And I'm going to tell you not to worry about it. Like, a lot of times people get upset, man, I have sent this person their link or this video like 40 times. Like, why can't they? You know what? It just is what it is. Some people are not going to
So Bob,
step
I'll
up
give
to
you an
the plate.
example. When the text message and the email went out tonight about the call and they kind of messed up and sent the one from last week,
Uh-huh.
within 5 minutes, I got 37 texts on my phone.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. So, regardless, we're all human. I look at all kinds of things, and no matter how perfect you want something to be, and this wasn't even on my list to talk about, but this is a good thing to write down. You're never gonna be perfect. Like, I struggled with that for so long, with perfection. Many of you know I played music since I was 12 years old, and I've been in the studio a bunch of times. Probably 150 times in the studio recording music. And in my early days, there were times like I'm 18, 19 years old, right? I'm in the studio recording my first record. I want every track to be perfect. I'm telling you, it would take me all day to record one, 3 guitar tracks for one song. Today, if I go into the studio, I'll record 4 or 5 songs of all that, because I realize, a lot of times, mistakes are good. Sometimes mistakes are good, in our aspect outside of that. But in our aspect, you make a mistake. If you don't make any mistakes, you're never going to learn from the mistakes you make. So just remember, you don't have to be perfect. I made a post a couple days ago, maybe yesterday. I said, you don't got to be great to get started, but you're never going to be great unless you get started. That's basically what the post said. And that's so true. It's that repetition of doing things over and over. Okay, let me see if I can give you a little bit of me. Let's talk about being first. There's huge advantages. Uh-oh, what just happened? All right, I guess I'm still here. Something went crazy on my computer. There's huge advantages of being first, and there's also disadvantages of being first. Okay. And so you have to really have an emotional IQ to where you can recognize and calm a storm when it needs to be calmed, or you'll know, well, you know what, these are the things that are going to happen in the early stages of a company launching. This is my first time in 20-year career that a company actually was functioning during a pre-launch phase. Right? Usually during a pre-launch phase, all they're doing is taking your money. That's usually it. But what's really cool about this is that we haven't paid a penny yet, and they're launching new things. But understand, there's going to be little things that happen. Like, I know some people were upset in my group anyway, until I had a conversation with them. They're like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. About the very first fun find, right? I mean, Shane's going to have to work it out and figure out like what's going to be the best way to. It was his first time ever. This is what I really, really applaud and I really look up to Shane for, is when he has a vision of something, he puts it into to context. He looks at, okay, how are we going to do this? And then he does it. And then guess what? There's going to be things that aren't right. Like, for example, I did the same thing as many of you probably. I put something in my cart and then I went back and shopped some more and I put something in the cart. By the time I had the 5 things in my cart and I clicked checkout, they were all gone. They were all sold out. Okay. That's the one thing about Fun Find. It is typically going to be one item. So this would be, and I know you say, my thought process was, well, if I just keep making them, okay, I want this, so I'm going to go buy it now. Now all of a sudden, I have 5 separate orders that I'm going to get paid 5 separate shipping charges on, right? And I know we all want to avoid that, obviously. So, long story short, believe me, Shane knows kind of the obstacles or the challenges that happened on that first fun find, and it's going to get better. But the beautiful thing is, we didn't pay any money to join the company yet. It's like in its working progress and working and ironing kinks out to where when this does go live and it's right around the corner, I'm telling you, we're right around the corner. But when it does go live and there's less kinks to work out, now we're not live yet, right? Okay. When it does go live, do you think it's going to work absolutely 100% perfect? I can assure you it's not going to. There's going to be little things here and there. And if there is something, big deal. Like all you really got to do is send an email to support. Shelly is the bomb. Okay. Like the emails don't get forgotten about, they don't get overlooked. I mean, she might be, got a pile of them to respond to, and it might take her 24 hours. I don't personally have that experience yet, but as it grows and there's more people, it might. But she's the bomb, and she always gets things fixed. Always, every time I've asked her, she's gotten it fixed, and that goes all the way back to the 5PC days. Like they got that down. So don't freak out if something's wrong. Just let the powers to be know this is what's wrong, and then they'll get it fixed. It's really not a big deal. Oh my God, I signed up somebody and they're not showing up in my back office. Well, a couple of things could have happened. So the first thing to do is to find out, is that even in the system? So you can email the company and say, hey, this person was enrolled, they never got an email. Can you see and check if they're even in the system yet? Maybe something happened on their end with their computer, or it didn't click all the way through, or I mean, there's a number of reasons of things that can happen. But I guess what it boils down to is when you're first like this in an opportunity, one of the disadvantages is that there's going to be things that happen. Now, a way to turn that into a positive is another training I do a lot of is we're either growing or we're dying, right? That's just it, right? You're not just living. If you're just living and not growing, you're basically dying. You're not living. It's just inevitable. Years will go by and you'll die and you'll have regrets laying on your bed. So if you're growing as you go through life, you're doing things, right? You're not going to have anywhere near as many regrets. Well, here, when we're first and things are happening, it allows us to work on our emotional IQ, right? To be able to keep the emotions in line. Just keep the faith that what you joined this for, all the reasons why, is all going to come to fruition. I mean, it's coming to fruition now. Yeah, nobody's getting paid anything, but people are making a lot of money, and I mean, are saving a lot of money. At before you know it, all of the when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? Rod will tell you. He told me, dude, this is launching October 15th. That was like 40 days. Okay. I'm like, well, when did you get all the coding over the, oh, we just got it in there this week. I'm like, bro, you are never launching on October 15th. It ain't going to happen. And there's a lot of people that were with me when I had All for One back in 2020. It took 11 weeks to get from start to finish. And let me tell you something. I did a majority of the work on that thing where we had to put the store together. We had to, give them all the list. A lot of the stuff that Ron and Shane and Shelly, they're all collectively doing. Myself and one other person pretty much did all that. And I worked literally 16 to 20 hours a day for 11 weeks and it was finally ready to go. So for them to be able to basically submit everything, it's not even been 90 days since they gave them all the information. So we're right around the corner, guys. I know for sure. So just, emotionally, just be positive, be excited. This is the coolest thing that's ever launched in network marketing by far. It's so different. It's shifting everything about how the business is run. Now, let's get away from all that negative talk and talk about the positive things. You're first. So imagine any company that's doing $100 million in sales right now. Imagine if you were one of the very first members or distributors in that company and still there. Just imagine what would happen. There's a couple of opportunities I bailed on in my career. I really wish I wouldn't have bailed on. Like right now, the residual income on it would be ridiculous. Company's still doing great. I'd probably be sitting at 50 grand a month, in cruising, not even having to work hard. And but you know what I learned from that? And the one thing I can tell you, no matter what ups and downs go here, one of the reasons I have such conviction about this is because I know Shane's work ethic and I know his track record. That's it. And I'm in line with the vision. The network marketing industry needed a change. It doesn't need freaking $200 auto ships or they entice you with a $99 auto ship, but you're capped, at 500 a month. And as soon as you reach that rank, then you got to go to a $150 auto ship, and then you're capped. I mean, they all have different things, but that's what happens, right? I don't know about you, but you know, I know at least in my circle of hundreds of people in networks or whatnot, most of them, unless they're making great money, can't afford an extra 150 or $200 a month. So that's the first thing that really actually changes everything. We're talking about 25 a month. Are you really telling me that you can't go through all the subscriptions you already pay for and don't use and figure out what ones you can cancel to slip in Fund Saver Network? You mean to tell me you really can't cut down, a pack of cigarettes a week? You can't cut down all the Cokes you're drinking. You can't cut down the Starbucks that you're spending your money on. You can't cut down like 25 bucks in a month. That's less than $1 a day for 25 bucks. That's the other reason that it gets me really excited because every single person can do it. Everyone. Now, we could have I don't know, some BS platform that costs $25 a month. And yeah, people would pay $25 a month. But before you know it, they're going to start canceling it, just like they're canceling some of the subscriptions right now that they don't use. If there isn't value, they're going to cancel. Another great reason that I'm here, because I know Shane's going to continue to just bring value. I'm telling you guys, when we look back at this, even just 12 months from now, not even 24, 36, 48 months from now, just 12 months from now, we're going to look back and go, remember when we were excited and all we had were drops? And we were excited about that. And there's going to be all these other crazy things that the network offers. So you're sitting in a position where you're going to have massive benefit for being first, but you're also going to have to swallow the things that happen and take the arrows with the things that happen for becoming first. You know how many pre-launches I got involved in that I paid $500 to join a founders pack Some of them were $3,000, $4,000. And then I was paying a damn auto ship every month before it ever even launched. And some of them never even launched. Right. So we're in a great place.
Like
Just,
AI desktop.
what's that? Like
AI.
desktop AI. Right. Exactly. I mean, I'm like, it's $20, what's the big deal? And then, but I mean, that was a cheap one that I did that never did get off the ground. But anyway, um, there are advantages of being first more than disadvantages, but just understand there's going to be things that aren't perfect. In fact, a year from now, they launch something new. I highly doubt any new launch to be perfect. It never is. There's always something, some little thing, but Shane's got a handle on it. He's got a great team. The dude is a great guy. He's got massive integrity. And I know what he's trying to build, just from my conversations with him. And I have no doubt we could all quit today. All of us on this Zoom right now, we could all quit today. And 2 years from now, Shane's going to have over 100,000 customers or more with or without us. And I like working side by side with doers, people that execute, people that do what they say they're going to do. Unfortunately, the back office system he doesn't have control over. He's paying people to do that. So, and guess what? He's not the only company getting a back office built for. So it takes some time. And guess what? Those people working on those codings and stuff, they work for the company. So they are employees. So do you think they're going to work like an entrepreneur 20 hours a day? They're not going to do that. They freaking probably work 9 hours a day with an hour lunch break and the whole 9 yards. So it's almost there, guys. It really is. Just embrace it and get ready. I know we're going to get an announcement here in the very near future about, hey, we're 5 days from opening up. And here's my suggestion. I would make sure you have all the contact information for every single person you've personally enrolled. I know personally for me and my team and my personal enrollments, as soon as I get that 5 day whistle, I'm gonna invite them all onto a private Zoom with us. We're going to talk about moving forward, what we're doing moving forward. Hey, by the way, this is launching next Friday. Make sure you got your $25 ready to go, right? Because you don't want to miss out. Now, you spend all this time being here. You do not want to miss out on not paying, and then all these people pass you up in the matrix. Because, by the way, when it goes live, you're going to have a 7 day window. And when that 7 day window is over, if you didn't pay, you're getting passed up in the matrix. And you do not want that to happen. Okay. So just make sure you do that. You're the leader of the people you brought to it. So it's important. And then, of course, I'm sure that Ron will also do a Zoom with everybody. I like to have a little more personal talk with my personals because I've been knowing them for a while, so I can say some things I can't necessarily say in a big group, right? I can say certain things to my friends that I wouldn't say to, a lot of strangers that I haven't met yet on an open public Zoom. So I encourage you to do that. All
Okay,
right.
I'll work on that. I got to work on
Wait, what?
that.
We've all just come to know and love Ron. So we know there's. I thought I was the one that didn't have a filter. Well, I do have a little filter. I think Ron's the one guy I met my whole life. I think that's one of the reasons we connected so well, Ron, is we just tell it like it is. It is what it is. All right. Next thing I want you guys to know is you're building a business and you're building a team. Okay. Let's say you're frustrated about something and you're on a Zoom or you're live with a group of people on Facebook or TikTok. Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to make a note here. So before I'm done, I want to make sure I make this little note about TikTok. But regardless, wherever you are, let's say you got like, I'll go live sometimes on Zoom and there'll be 4 or 5 of us and we're, giving some tips or whatever. I haven't done it in a while, but then we go live on Facebook or whatever. Always remember, especially on Zooms that are live, that maybe we let Q&A happen, or hey, you got something, you share a testimonial and somebody come on and they'll just puke a bunch of garbage of their mindset is terrible that day and they're upset because, well, let's just say they didn't get a fun find item and they're all upset and they, guess what? There might be 13, 14, 15, 20, 30, but when we get going 100 guests on that Zoom, they don't need to hear that nonsense. Like, we're all going to go through and have bad days. Remember this. This is a golden rule in building teams in the space of relationship, network marketing, whatever you want to call it. Negative news goes up, positive news goes down. You should never be venting to your downline, ever. I don't care how good of friends you are with them. You should never be venting and sharing that with your downline. All of us break that rule 100% of the time. You know, there'll be times me and Kid are talking. Me and Kid have become very good friends over the years. So sometimes I forget about, oh, she's in the downline. I don't need to be the one that's seeding negative energy. But you know, a lot of times you will have a workout partner that maybe is your downline personal. There are some exceptions to the rule because if you're down, they can lift you. And if they're down, you can lift them, which is, by the way, what usually happens with me and Kit. If she's all in a pissy mood, I'll get her out of it. If I'm in a pissy mood, she'll get me out. And we know each other so well, she'll say a few things to me that, you know, most people would sugarcoat, right? Same with Ron and I when we talk. But for the most part, you never want to be talking about anything negative at all to your downline. You want to bring that upline. Get on the phone with your upline. You need to vent about something, call somebody in the upline. They'll take it. Trust me, they'll take it. Right? Be prepared if you're calling Ron about that, though.
No, I know what I'm going to do, brother. When somebody calls me and goes, man, I didn't get with that thing in Fun Fun, I'm going to go, yeah, isn't it great? It's moving fast.
But you know, the whole point is that you know everybody's going to have, even if it's not even this, right? You're having a bad day, right? You need somebody to talk to. Call somebody in the upline. That's what this community is all about. That's what community in building relationship marketing really is all about. You having a bad day? Don't be afraid to call up. Just don't call down. You got some great news. Company's getting ready to do this, or man, you got somebody that got their first check, it was $700 and they weren't even really wanting to build this. You got good news, feel free to dial everyone in your downline and tell them what's going on. Right? The good news down, bad news up. Okay. All right, I'm just going to hit these last few things and then I'll be done with kind of the training part. We can go through some comments, questions. Anybody got something they want to add to it? The first thing I want you to do, and I went back to this today thinking about this. We've all heard what I'm about to say to you 150 million times. But you've heard it so many times because it's important. If you want to really continue to build a business. And by the way, building this business only takes consistency on a small level, right? Sign up a couple new people every week. If you just keep doing that for the next 52 weeks, let's say you sign up 2 people a week, or you just signed up 104 people next year. Yourself personally, how many do you think 104 personals are going to turn into? Thousands, I can promise you that. I promise you that. Okay. But the first thing is, why are you even a part of this? That's what you want to really ask yourself. Why are you a part of it? If it's just to save money, that's great. You're gonna avoid a lot of disappointment because building businesses create disappointment. It's all about managing the disappointments, right? And you got this guy, you know, would be huge. He's super influential in the community. He knows everybody. He's gonna fall in love with this. And you talk to him, and he's like, "I'm not doing that." And you're disappointed. Okay, so what? I mean, he's just not the one. It doesn't matter. By the way, the ones that go run their faces off and just build massive businesses, you probably don't know them. But somebody you know that knew someone did know them. That's why warm market people these days blows my mind. People these days don't network warm market anymore. That's all I do. Now I'm setting up to try to really explode some online marketing, but I mean, we're what, 6 degrees separation of everyone or whatever. So, hey, Johnny, who do you know that's, by the way, this is another good approach. You're talking to somebody, hey, by the way, I just got involved with this company. Do you know anybody that likes to save money? So now you're not asking them if they like to save money. You're asking them if they know anybody that likes to save money. Well, what do you mean? I like to save money. That's what they're going to say. And then that opens up for a possibility. But you got to really know why you're here, manifest on it, think about it. That'll keep you in the game. And you might have to think about that every month because you might slowly, your fire might slowly burn out. You know why it's so important to continue to prospect and bring on new people? Because new people are the lifeblood of your business. New blood, lifeblood, right? The fire burns from the bottom, not the top. So when there's new people are excited. Guess what that does for you? It gets you excited. You enroll somebody, they're all excited, then you're excited again. You're not alone if you think you are by like being not as excited as you were in the beginning or go through those spurts. We all do. It's human nature, man. Things get in the way, things get on your plate, blah, 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 blah. Things come up. You have a knee replacement. You're in the hospital for a minute, right, Sandy? Hey, things happen, man. It doesn't matter. It's life. It's life. That's all it is. So just really get honed in on why you're here. What is the point? One thing I can tell you is this will be here for a long time. So it all boils down to that. And then it boils down to what do you believe? Do you really believe Shane's doing something that's gonna last for a long time? Do you really
Hey, Bob, can
believe
I
there?
add something if you'll allow me to do so? I hate to interrupt you,
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
but you just said figure out why you're here, and I'm just sitting here. I can hear people thinking in their mind, "Well, I need to make some money. It's about the money. I got to make money." Let me explain something to you, and this is going to sound funny. It's never about the money. You think it is in your mind, but it's never about the money. It's about what the money can do for you. It's about the freedom that you get from that money. It's about the options that you give yourself, your family, your life, because you have money. It's never about the money. The money gives you opportunity to do what it's really about. So you got to think deeper than money.
Right. Which a good point to kind of sum up what you just said. Your why shouldn't be about money. It should be about what the money will do for you. Right? That's basically what you just meant.
Yes, sir.
Yep. That's a freaking really good point too. So your why should be more time freedom. I want to take more vacations. I want to help more people. Whatever the case is. I want to give more to my church, whatever it is. But that's important. And then your belief level, of course, it is important. You have to have a vision, right? Vision, the most successful people in the world are visionaries. I don't know if you heard this story recently, but Elon a few years ago started thinking, sitting in traffic, that this is a bunch of BS and I'm sick of sitting in this LA traffic. I'm going to build some tunnels under the ground. Right now, that's a crazy thought, right? Well, he acted upon it, went and bought some drilling, what do they call them? Well, I'll call it drilling tools for now. And they weren't really very good. And he made them better. And he started drilling, started a company, drilled miles of a tunnel. And now this company that he started literally just created like a $48 billion contract with Vegas to build all these tunnels underneath the convention center and all this stuff. That's going to end up being the future of a lot of cities that are so congested with extra roadways that go off that are under the ground. Mark my words, might not be completely fully usable in our lifetime, but our kids are going to see it. But the reason I'm saying that is that Elon had this vision. Everything starts with a vision. So you have to see it sometimes before it's actually real. Like I see 80,000 people in my matrix. It's just not here yet. It just hasn't come to fruition yet, but it's going to, and I can already see what that looks like. And that vision gives me the daily belief I need to keep talking to people about the opportunity. You got to be bought in with the vision and the mission of the company. What is Shane's real mission? To really put a huge shift in network marketing and create more value than any network marketing company's ever delivered. And that's his real vision, to provide more value to his members than any other network marketing company's ever been able to do. Do you have belief in yourself? Ron did a great training last week on it. Go watch it. It's really good about building your confidence and your belief in yourself. Everybody can do it. I don't care. You could drop me in the middle of Idaho by myself. I know nobody, and I'm dropped in that town. And my goal is I got to build a network in that town. I'm going to do it without the internet. I'm going to do it by going out and meeting people and talking to people and smiling at people and opening doors for people and starting conversations with people. Anybody can do it. It's just a matter of, are you going to break out of, I hate using the word comfort zone because it's so overused, but your fear zone or whatever. How many times are you standing in line somewhere and there's people all around? Do you talk to them, or do you just sit there and read the tabloids, right, while you're waiting in line or whatever? I talk to people. And I always strike up a conversation by complimenting them. By the way, it's a great way to start a conversation in the cold market is to compliment somebody. Nice shoes, cool shirt, that shirt's hilarious. Where did you get those jeans? Anything like that. Man, I love your hair, whatever. I like to use the shoes one. I always say, and by the way, guys, if you're I like to talk to women because they like to chat, chat, chat. And if you really look at the statistics in network marketing, women blow men away. By the way, they just do. For all you guys, that's a little tip. At the top of all companies, if you took their top 100 leaders of every company, more than half of them will be women, for sure. But if you are a guy and you're talking to women, use something like this. Man, I love your shoes. My wife would love those shoes. Where'd you get those? Now they know I got a wife. I'm not hitting on them. And now the wall comes down and they're a lot more, open to conversation, right? So anyway, that's just a little tip there on cold market prospecting, complimenting. But at the end of the day, you have to have that confidence in yourself and you have to just believe in what it is we're doing. I mean, this is more of a mission, in my opinion. One of the reasons I'm behind this is because I'm just fed up with the typical network marketing arena. There's some great products out there. I'm not going to, shun that. And there's some really great people that are leaders in the space, but 99% of the companies are doing the same old broken model. The same old leaders are making all the money. The same old followers are giving all their money. And it's just, I just fed up with it. I'm behind this mission because that's going to change everything. I'm telling you, people are going to make 500, $1,000 a month without even trying when this thing is going. It's just going to happen. I mean, and never forget an extra 500 or $1,000 a month part time to somebody is a lot. Okay. Um, so belief. So know why you're here and make sure you have the belief in why you're here. And then ask yourself, it's a good question. I'll stop here. And if you want to share a little bit, ask questions about it, feel free to do whatever you want. But I will stop right here. And that is for you to ask yourself, what is really holding you back? Like, if you spent $100,000 on a milkshake stand, I'm pretty sure you would be talking to everyone you know about your new milkshake stand. You just spent 100 grand. And so sometimes that 100 grand is enough to get somebody out of their comfort zone going, man, if I don't talk to some people, if I don't do something about some advertising, if I don't do something, I just wasted 100 grand. Well, we're talking about $25 here. So it's the financial setback isn't going to push you out of your comfort zone. That's why you hear people talk so much about your why and your belief and what do you really want and what's holding you back and all these things, because this is really, you have to have your own self determination. Like you have to have your own selfish reasons of why you want to move. There's nothing wrong with, somebody that says to me, I want to move forward just so I can help everyone around me. Well, I'm going to call BS on that. You might want to help a lot of people, but let's just be real. You want to help yourself and your family first. Like, a drowning person is no good to a drowning person. So you got to get you first, and then great, you can fulfill that vision of wanting to help other people, help your church grow, go on missionary trips, whatever it is for you. But at the end of the day, most people are held back and they procrastinate and they make excuses because they don't want to look stupid. They don't want to get laughed at. They don't want to have somebody tell them something they don't want to hear, right? Here's my last bit of advice, and the floor is open. If you know how to raise your hand, feel free to raise your hand. We can have some dialogue for the next 15 minutes. You have to stop worrying about what other people are going to think about you. I promise you, there isn't one person on your friends list that's going to randomly call you and go, hey, man, I want to pay your mortgage this month. It ain't going to happen. Hey, man, I know you've been working hard and man, I've been watching you and you seem like you're never really getting ahead. I want to pay for your mortgage this month. Where do I send the check? It's not going to happen. You might get a pat on the back, but you have to stop worrying about what someone's going to say to you. I hate it when people say I'm out of people to talk to. That's an excuse. You got tons of people to talk to. Oh, I went to all these people the last time and the last time and the time before that. Oh, yeah, and the time before that and the time before that and the time before that and the time before that. So who cares? Maybe none of those things resonated with your friend or whoever it was you're talking to. What if you found the gold, but then you just ignored that friend and then they saw you driving up in your brand new car. They saw you selling your house and buying a new house. They saw you taking your family on vacations. They're like, man, what's going on with you, man? I see you're taking all these vacations. Oh man, I found this new side hustle. It turned into a full-time gig. On top of it, we're saving a ton of money. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You called me about all that other nonsense, but you never called me about this. Like, what? Why did you not call me? Like, that's the attitude you got to have. Not, I've called them for everything else. I'm not calling them again. No, you need to call everyone that you know. Start and strike up a conversation. You don't even have to be pointed. You don't even have to be like, hey, I found this thing. I wanted to share it with you. Blah, blah, blah. You say, hey, listen, a friend of mine introduced me to this really cool online shopping club. I got to ask you a question. Do you know anyone like that maybe I don't know that you know that likes to save money? You didn't even ask them, or you took it away from them. I guarantee you, if you do that to some people, they're going to go, well, I like to save money. What are you talking about? Oh, okay, cool. Let me ask you, do you go to Costco or Sam's, or do you have a Netflix or Amazon Prime account or anything? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's this new savings club. I never seen anything like it. It's 25 bucks a month. It's basically the same thing. But I've never, ever in my entire life on this planet seen the kind of discounts and deals this company is giving. It's very unique. It's very cool. Let me just send you some information. You can check it out. Hey, if you want to set up a free account, you can set up a free account, check it out. If you don't, you don't. But keep in mind, though, other people that you may know that want to save some money. I want to help people save money. See how non-abrasive it is? I didn't try to get them. I didn't try to, hook them into the next new greatest thing. Okay. There ain't one hand up.
So Bob,
Yeah, man.
as you're going through there, I had so many revelations in my mind, and you're absolutely correct. But this is the real deal. If it's easy to do, it's even easier not to do. And that's what most people do. But not you, because you're leaders, because you're here on a Wednesday night. You're taking your time out to be on this call because you're a leader and you have a reason to be here. And the second thing is when Bob said, stop thinking about what other people think about you. Let me give you a secret. They already think what they're going to think about you already. They have their opinion of you already. Whatever you do or whatever you say is not going to change it. You might think it does by how they're talking to you, but they got their opinion of you already. And I was told by a guy named Brig Hart in a company called Monavie, when I was sitting in a room with him and Charlie Cab and all these people, I heard Brig Hart tell somebody, not me, tell somebody else, the day you stop worrying about what people think about you is the day you'll become rich.
I wasn't even in that room. See? It's the truth, man. That was my story. I heard that same thing. I don't remember if it was a recording I listened to, but I was literally in 2010 losing my house. I've been in several network marketing companies, but finally I'm like, you know what? That dude's right. Why am I so worried about what other people think of me? I'm going to go prove them all wrong. And that's the year I had a breakthrough, you know?
You did.
You'd be surprised when you have that attitude, you don't really care. I don't really care if they sign up or not. It doesn't even matter to me. What matters is getting the message out and talking to people. Who signs up doesn't matter. But what you'll find out is with that kind of attitude, people sign up. They just do. It's crazy. Great stuff. Great comments that are in here. I like what you said, Damon. You know, tell people it's basically in beta phase. I mean, this thing's amazing already just in beta. It's getting ready to launch. That's good. Oh, that's for sure, Clyde. You want to share anything like that? Open up, man. Unmute. That's a good one.
I leave it for you, man.
That is so good, man. The world will always give you the opportunity to quit.
Yeah.
You could talk about that for freaking 40 minutes.
And trust me, everybody's wanting to see you lose. Don't make them right. Don't make them right. There's tons of people wanting to see you lose so they can tell you, I told you so. Don't make them right.
Yeah, that's so true, man. The other thing is when you get yourself into a funk mentally, having a funky day, whatever, things aren't going well. We've all said, man, I should have just stayed in bed today, right? I bet you every one of you said that before, right? Soon as you recognize that that's the day you're having, just stop for a minute, take a couple deep breaths for 15 or 20 seconds, start thinking of something really good, something that just gets your good, positive flowing emotions going, things you like, and then start over. You know, recognizing where you're at is the first part. Right? You gotta snap out of it. Well, you're never gonna snap out of it if you don't recognize it. All right, I guess nothing else in here.
Any questions, any comments, raise your hand. Or just put it in the chat. One of the two.
Hey, I just had one that I used to do a long time ago. I don't know if people have done it, but you got these family members that don't want to see you succeed. So a lot of times I go to them and I'll say, John, I say, listen, I know you. You could find a rattlesnake in a woodpile. I said, I have a program that I just got into, and I'm going to send you a link, and I want you to look at it. And would you please look at it and tell me what's wrong with it?
I like that. I like that. That's good. And don't get bent if your family isn't with you. I've been in this game since 2001. What is that, 23 years? Almost 24 years? I don't have one family member and never have. Oh, my wife, because I make her. Right. But literally, my brothers, my sisters, my dad. Well, I can't lie. I can't say that. My dad supported me early on in my career. because he was always the struggling networker that never made it. I think I got it from him. But as far as being in this game, in this space, and what it can provide, but don't worry about your family and friends. But man, Clyde, that is so good, and that can go to any friends that you have, right? Hey, I'm getting involved in a new program. I'm not even calling you to get you involved, but I know you can find anything wrong with something. By the way, what a terrible skill to have, huh? Find something wrong with everything. Oh my God. But that was good. That's a good point. All right, Jim, go ahead, man. Give us some goods.
I'm just thinking about what you're talking about. You know, a lot of people, myself included, have been in a few of these things over the years, and people call them those things. Oh, you're in one of those things. And like I've mentioned before, I said I would never do one of those things again that was reliant upon pushing products commissions driven by auto ships and things like that, and long, lengthy presentations, and you know, where you got to set up to go meet with somebody and sit down, and it gets all weird. And so I'm sure there's other people in our community, maybe not on tonight, but that have done some of these things before, and it kind of just makes the hair on the back of their neck stand up when they think about, man, do I have to approach this particular thing like I had to those other things? And you don't. This is different. This is not one of those things. This is so much different than all of those other companies. This is new, innovative, and different, and it really is that simple. You don't have to schedule a time to sit down with somebody, do a presentation, spend an hour, hour and a half of your time with them, and spend their time. This is something really simple. This is something that can be done at a gas pump. This is something that can be done at the checkout lane. If you have a business card, or if you have your code with you, they can scan. You can, whatever. This, I mean, it's really can be done. This to me, this is a minute, less than 2 minute engagement, maybe even less than a minute, to get somebody interested and to get them to your website. And I've done it because I don't want to do those lengthy presentations. I don't want to do those spiels and all that. And everybody, I'm doing a lot of different guerrilla marketing type things. And with those other businesses, those things didn't work. You had to nurture and build relationships and spend that time. I'm not saying I'm not saying that's bad to do that with this. It's just not the only way, is what I'm saying. There are other ways to do this business, and they can be really simple. So I just wanted to share my experience.
Well, in fact, I think it's better to do it that way. Keep it simple. I mean, if you notice, one of the things I hate too, Jim, are when somebody prospects me for something and I go to get on a Zoom and it's 40 minutes before they even talk about the opportunity. I'm like, see you later. I'm out of here. Right. You notice our presentations. I mean, I've really practiced this over the last 5 years, is getting presentations down to 15 minutes. Right. The presentation part of it on a presentation setting should be 10 to 15 minutes. You should be able to spill out something in 3 to 4 minutes at a gas pump, like you're saying. And what easier way to do it? Man, I wish these gas prices would go down, don't you? And they'll laugh. Man, I don't know about you, but I like to save money, not spend money. Oh man, I do too. Hey, listen, man, you like to save money? Bam. Shoot them a text. That's it. Or give them a QR code or card, or you guys have many ways you give information out to somebody quick, but that's it. And you never know. You do that 3 or 4 times a day, you know, you're going to get some that bite. It's just the law of averages, man.
Jim loves guerrilla marketing, and the good thing about guerrilla marketing is it opens up your local arena for you to be talking to people and start building a team or whatever the case may be. I just want to throw this out there real quick. My very first experience in network marketing was in November of 1991. So if you do the math, it'll be 34 years this month in a week.
You're old, bro.
So if I've done it for 34 years and Bob's done it for 20 years and some of you've done it longer than me, Mr. Clyde George, I'm just saying, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say in 34 years, I've never seen a business like this one. And I'll probably never see another one like this one, and you as well. Not saying nobody will get a hold of what we're doing and try to duplicate what we're doing, but that's going to be really difficult. You can't just start getting trucks and start brokering stuff, and you just can't. And by the time somebody gets to where we're at now, we're going to be way beyond them. So I don't think I see anybody running up on us or catching up from us from behind. The reason I'm saying this is simple. I just know how fortunate each and every one of you are for being one of the first in this company, because I know when Shane says there's going to be 1 million people here, I have no doubt in believing there's going to be 1 million people here. I have no doubt. There was a private phone call that was had the other day with Shane and some people. And what I want to tell you is this: Shane flat out told these people, said, listen, I don't ever think about dollars and cents. I don't think about money. He said, I've got a company right now with 750,000 customers, and we do 4,000 to 5,000 name tags a day and ship them out. He said, I didn't do it for the money. I did it because I wanted to be the best at name tags for police departments and hospitals all across the nation. And he is. He's not doing Fund Saver Network for money, y'all. It's not about the money. That's why he's not putting any added cost or whatever on the drops, except for the merchant's account charges for running credit cards. He's doing it because he wants to be the best with the biggest group, the biggest opportunity for people out there in this world of network marketing. That's why he's doing it, because he doesn't have to do it, but he's doing it because he wants to do it, because he wants to be bigger than anybody else. He knows he's got a great opportunity for each and every one of you to literally change your life, whatever that means to you. And again, it's not about the money, it's about changing your life. It's about what that money will do for you. It's about how much money you're saving when you buy these products. Because let's don't forget, a penny saved is a penny earned. That's still saving money. Still. So I'm just telling you this because I know that we're going through the trenches, and I know that we've been going, oh my God, this is a long time. Let's go already. I get it. I get it. I'm just telling you this because don't let those emotions take you out. Don't let that happen. Stay here. Stay comfortable right now. Keep talking about it because you're so early. Have any of y'all know this thing about the bell curve? You know, when a business starts, it's on flat ground, and then it hits the bell, and it starts going up the bell curve, and it climbs and climbs, gets to the top of the bell curve. Now it's at the top. That could be years and years and years. And over years, then it starts coming down the bell curve. We haven't even hit the bell curve yet. We're still on the flat ground going to the bell. So just imagine where you could possibly be 6 months from now. Imagine what you could do a year from now if you truly engage. I mean, truly engage. And just go, I'm doing this. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. And I really don't even care what anybody says about me. I'm going to go do this because this is what I've been looking for. If you don't believe me, ask some of your friends. Go, hey man, where'd you go on vacation last year? And they might say, nowhere. Why? Didn't have the money. Or if they say, we went to one place. Why did you not go to two? Didn't have the money. I know you like vacationing. Yeah, we don't have the money. I'm just telling you, it's all, if you talk to somebody and go, if somebody says, we need this thing to launch, go, why? Because I need the money. Why? Why do you need the money? I got to pay this. I got to pay this. I got to pay. I understand. It's never the money. It's always about what it does for you. It gives you options. It lets you breathe. And unfortunately, money's like oxygen. You got to have it to live. That's just how it works. How it works. So I'm just telling you, I just want to reiterate to each and every one of you, we are so close now. It is with absolute shame to know that you've been here this long and you hung in there this long, and we get right to the end of it and you're going, I'm out. I can't do this no more. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Because I've seen so many people, I know Bob has, I know Clyde has, we have seen so many people that got down in their trenches and went to work and started working and started building a team, and they gave up when they was right there ready to make the breakthrough. They quit. You know the sad part about that is they didn't quit nobody but themselves. They quit on themselves. Don't let that be you. We got something very special here. I promise you it's going to be something like you've never seen before. And while you're thinking, God, we got to get this going, I understand 100%. But what you see right now in front of you is not even the tip of the iceberg of where this company is going to be and what we're going to do. Because while you see where we're at today, Shane's already thinking about where we're going to be in 6 months and what we're going to do about this company to make it even bigger than anything you've ever seen in your life. And all you need to do is just be there when it happens. Be there when it happens. So I just had to bring that up, Bob. I'll turn it back to you. I'm sorry.
No, it's good, man. We're done. We're good. I mean, I don't have anything else really to go over. If nobody else has any other questions or comments, I mean, I guess you can wrap us up.
All right, man. Well, listen. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, let's try to do something. Okay. Let's do something tomorrow, because it's been a minute since we had like 80, 90 people in this thing. And I know why. Look, if we're going to be transparent, let's be transparent. I know why we don't have 80, 90 people, because now we got people thinking, is this thing really going to launch? I know exactly what's going on. I've done this so long. That's what's on people's mind. We got to get back to where our head was. So tomorrow, let's invite your team. Let's invite some people that can show up tomorrow and bring some new people, because there's 40 of us right now. If everybody brings one, that's 80. We're back. If everybody tells their team, get on tomorrow night, because tomorrow night is the opportunity presentation with Mr. Bob Bearden. Mr. Bob Bearden's doing the opportunity presentation tomorrow night. Bring some folks, bring some questions, bring some involvement, bring some engagement. Let's get that thing going. With that being said, folks, thank you, Bob, for being out here every single week. And thank all of you that keep coming every single week to learn more and get more and do more and have more. Okay? That being said, folks, have a blessed night. We will see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, buddy. Good night, everyone.